Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mohammed Asim. I'm working as DevOps engineer. Guys, in this video, I'm going to show you how we can set up Jenkins in Kubernetes, and we are going to use GitLab. Regarding the GitLab, I need to tell you that we are going to push our images to private GitLab registries, and we are going to pull our images regarding the deployment. The CD part is going to also from the GitLab private registries. And regarding the CI part, we are going to use Jenkins for build, and we are going to use Kaniko, right, to build our images. And in that particular CI, we are also going to push our images to GitLab. Currently, guys, these two repositories are totally private. I'm going to provide these repository by making these public repos after this video because I have to remove some of the credentials. Although this is totally demo part regarding no stuff regarding any, official stuff. So anyway, excuse me. So let's begin. First of all, what we need to do, we need to set up the Kubernetes environment. So I'm going to start from the scratch, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take shell into my particular Ubuntu box, and you can use VMware or whatever you want to use. So this is my um, private Ubuntu box. I'm going to take a shell, and this is totally blank. And what we're going to do, we are going to set up the Kubernetes environment in the kind cluster, and we are going to use the script to set up all that particular environment quickly. So that's why I'm doing all the stuff from scratch. And let's see. So currently, guys, if you see this host name CTL, and this is the box I'm using, and if you see cat etc OS release, so this is my release Ubuntu 22 LTS Jammy Jellyfish, right? So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to navigate to my repo. Right from here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to select this shell regarding set up the kind cluster. So I'm not going to go all the detail regarding the stuff, but the very basic I'm going to show you. In previous videos, I've shown you how to set up the kind cluster, but this is how we are going to set up Docker Compose, kubectl installation, Helm, kind cluster installation, and we are going to use the version. This is the config file we need to have regarding the kind setup, and this is the version 1.2, 1.25.9 we are going to use, right? So what you need to do, simply copy the contents of this particular file, right? And let me do that, or simply open that in raw and press Control A. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to say nano define.shell, and I'm going to paste the contents here, right? And I'm going to press Control S and X, right? So make this guy executable and do kind, and I'm going to say bash uvxe to this guy, and you will see the output and debug mode of this particular shell in this shell, right? So currently the installation regarding the Docker is going to be happen, and what it does, it is going to set up the latest version of Docker and Docker Compose in this particular Ubuntu box, right? And after that, it is going to do the installation of Helm, kubectl, what we need to have regarding this. So once we do that, we are going to take a shell into that regarding the installation of Jenkins. So let it complete. I will be back with you guys shortly. So guys, regarding the installation of Helm kubectl is done. Now what this script does, it is going to install or set up the kind cluster, and you see it is using this version of Kubernetes. So we are using the multi nodes. One is going to be the master nodes, and two boxes you're watching are going to be the worker nodes, right? This is very cool kind setup in a way that you can do testing in a sandbox environment and quickly spin up your different version of Kubernetes cluster to do testing, what new in the different versions. So that is how easily you can do that. So guys, script ran successfully. What it does, it is created a context, and if I do simply, sorry, kubectl get nodes, you will see that our cluster is ready, right? And this is the version. So what I'm going to do, let me do curl ifconfig.me, right? This is giving me the IP address, public IP address. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make this available in my host machine, and I'm going to do SSH tunneling. So if I do SSH-nl, and this is the port regarding the API I've exposed. So let me first of all show you that. So if you navigate back to this particular script, like this one we have set up. So if you navigate to this section, you see, okay, scroll it up. This is the port of the API server which I've exposed right on my machine. So what I'm doing here now, I'm going to make a tunnel, right? And I'm going to make this cluster available on my host machine with this command, right? So this is how easy it is. And then we are going to import this particular cluster uh, in Lens. So I'm going to provide the password, don't save it. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to get all the contents of this cluster context, right? So simply do this. What I need to do, I need to copy this particular guy from here till here, right? So then I'm going to open Lens and I'm going to bring this guy available in my Lens. And then we are going to set up the Jenkins. So click here and add cluster. Regarding the Lens, I do have detailed videos. You can watch those particular videos. What is Lens, how we can set up. So, okay, browse, okay, general clusters, right? So this is our cluster, right? So I'm going to click this guy and it is going to make a connection to that particular port, as this port is now locally available on our machine. So these are the two nodes, guys, right? And this is the master nodes and two worker nodes. So, and I'm going to make this available on my hot pair, right? So this is the one. So guys, what we are going to do, we are going to set up Jenkins, right? So what we need to do regarding that particular Jenkins setup, so simply I'm going to add this particular repo, right? And as we have installed the Helm latest version through this particular script, right? So what we need to do, simply type this command and it is going to add this particular repo. And if I do okay, let me do Helm repo ls. So this is the repo, right? I've added all the useful commands for you guys, and we are going to simply update this particular command, and then we are going to do set up the installation. What it does, it is going to create a namespace Jenkins currently. If I navigate to the namespaces section, you see, I mean, currently we don't have namespace Jenkins, so simply put this command here, and what it does, it is going to create a namespace and do the installation of Jenkins. We are waiting. So you will see shortly that you see Jenkins has active about 10-11 seconds ago. This is the namespace created, and from the workloads, if I navigate to the pods, select this section, Jenkins namespace, you see the provisioning of Jenkins pod is in pending state. And if you navigate to this Helm releases, what we have set up the first release with the name Jenkins, and it is in the pending state. So we need to wait for a while. So this command, what it does, it is going to wait By default, 5 minutes, like this is the default, to make sure that if the command runs successfully, it is going to set up this particular Jenkins. What we then are going to do, we are going to make this Jenkins available on our host machine, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to navigate to this networking section, services. You'll see the Jenkins is going to be available, but what we need to do, wait for a while. So this Jenkins pod is available. Navigate to this section, services, and click this guy. And I'm going to do port forwarding to this guy to 8090, right? So 8090. I'm going to open this in my browser. So let it open. So I'm going to simply copy this guy and bring this guy here in the same page, right? So this is the username, and let me tell you how we can check the um, credentials. So what you need to do regarding the credential, click this configuration and you will see secrets. The same namespace secrets, click this guy Jenkins, and we have this Jenkins admin user. Click this guy, you will see this is the Jenkins admin user. Click this I button and simply copy this guy, press Control C and simply paste this password here. So now this is our Jenkins up and ready. And what we're going to do, we are going to set up some of the pipelines. So regarding the pipelines, I've told you that we are not going to build the traditional way building of our images. We are going to use Kaniko. So let me navigate to the section where we are going to try our first build. And right, so these are some of the tokens. What we need to do. For instance, let me show you some of the stuff regarding the GitLab registry login and push token. So what I've done here, let me show you this part. So we need to log into our GitLab registry, right? So this is, for instance, the username and the password. So what I've done, I've added the repo access token. So how you can do that, navigate to this settings section. So you see these are the access token, right? And what I've done here, created this token Kaniko. It has the, I mean, read repository, read registry, which this is the private registry, and write registry. Write registry means grant, read, and write access to push and pull to the repository. So all the detailed description you can find here. You need to create this, and and the role of this is going to be owner, and I've not set up any expiration date. You can set up according to your need, right? So this part, excuse me. So okay, this part is regarding the creation of access token. So what we are going to do, we need to set up this particular stuff. So also we need to set up the Jenkins role and role binding. Regarding the errors, I will show you how to fix those. So anyway, in order to log into a GitLab registry, we need to set up these. So one thing I need to share here, if you see this dash dash Docker email address, so in case of Docker private registry, you need to provide this, but definitely I've removed that particular guy. What I'm going to do, I'm going to create, uh, I mean, namespace Jenkins create secret Docker registry, although namespace already exists. So let's try this particular command and we do Control L. So So what happened here, it is actually created a secret, and you can also see from the command line kubectl get secrets in namespace Jenkins, right? So you see the name of this particular secret is GitLab credential. It has been created, and also I'm going to show you from this section, navigate to this section, and you see this is the secret we have set up. So anyway, this is regarding the credential. We need to push our images and pull our images. So these are some of the useful links. I mean, how we can do like repo download with HTTPS. I'm going to cover this later, right? So this is our pipelines, and regarding this pipeline, we need to also set up Jenkins service account role binding with application namespace hello. For instance, and if you see, navigate to this section regarding the access control, right? Service account, you will see that this Jenkins role, if you use this particular ham child, is created, and from the CLI, definitely you can say that kubectl get service account in namespace Jenkins, and definitely you can describe that particular role from the command line as well, also from here, right? So what we need to do regarding if we need to deploy one of our application, for instance, in the namespace hello, we need to make sure that this particular role binding should be done. So let first begin with this pipeline. So regarding this pipeline, what we are going to do regarding the building of our images, right? So uh, let me start from here. So this is the Kubernetes YAML file, and pod is going to be like in the namespace Jenkins, and container we are going to provision, and we are going to call this Cloud Geek CI, and we are going to use Python Slim image, right? And then we have this container Kaniko. We are going to pull this container from the Google public registries. So these are the setting, right? And we are doing the volume mounts. You see, regarding the volume mounts, why we need it? Because we need to have this credential available regarding the uh, access of this particular private GitLab, registry. So the command I've already shown you guys, and these are the name of the credential. Now you see available in our section, in our area of Jenkins. Navigate to this section. So these are the credential we have set up already through our command line, right? So these are now available, right? And these are the stages. For instance, build with Kaniko. I'm going to call this stage build with Kaniko, and the container we are going to provision, and we are already call this guy Cloud Geek CI, right? With the script, with the credential, right? So these are the repo credits ID. What we mean by that? This is the token actually what we need to set up. So if I navigate back to the section, for instance, let me open this section. Okay, let me show you this part from here. So navigate to this section, access token, right? Click this guy. So in order to read the registry only, I've done, I've created this token read registry. What it does, it is going to have only read registry, which means that it is only this one. It's only able to pull the images what you can push, but I mean, you can pull that particular images only. So in order to push, we need to have this particular access. So and this is what I've already covered. So let's back to our Kaniko section, and this is the file what we are looking. So definitely we can provide the credential. But what we are going to do, I'm going to create a simple pipeline for your understanding. Let's say I'm going to call this pipeline Kaniko, right? So regarding the CI part here, we are discussing, I'm going to simply copy paste the pipeline instead of using Git. So discard old builds, right, and do not allow concurrent builds, leave rest of the settings, right? So we are going to simply copy paste this particular pipeline script. So let me cover the other parts of the particular script, right? So what we are doing here, we need to set up these credential repo credits ID. So let's first of all paste this pipeline here, and then we are going to navigate back to this section. So I'm going to paste this particular pipeline here. I'm going to apply save, but if I run it, it is going to give me an error. So for that, what I need to do, let me show you the error first. Let it build, and what it does, will it will spit out an error, right? So regarding the setup of this pod, so if you navigate to this section, what it does, Jenkins is going to provision one pod. You see this Kaniko pod, and it is going to complain regarding the error that we don't have set up the um, credentials, so it's going to be end up in failure. So you need to be aware of these sort of error. Currently, it is in the provisioning state, and what we need to do, we are going to do navigate back to this dashboard, navigate to the manage Jenkins, right? And from here, if I navigate back to this section credentials, right? Click this guy, add new credential, right? And we are going to simply select this secret text, and the text is gonna be like what I've already shown you guys. So from here, and let me navigate back to this section. Okay. So click this guy, Kaniko, and I've already pasted the credentials like the tokens here. So these are the deploy tokens, but we are using the access tokens here, right? So let's try to use this particular token, right? So um, let's do that. So simply copy this particular guy, right? And simply paste this guy. And now we are going to simply give this guy the same ID. So this is the repo creds ID we need to provide, and you can give any descriptions. So I'm going to create this guy. So you see it ends up in a failure. So couldn't find this entry, right? So let's try to rerun this particular guy and see what other errors we might be facing, and we are going to fix it on the fly, right? So let's do that. And you see again what it does, it is going to provision this new guy, provision shortly. So if you use Lens, it is going to be much more easier to understand. So you see, it has again done the step regarding the provisioning of new pods. So where we are here actually in this Jenkins file, and we are going to build our Kaniko, Docker image. So what it does, it is going to look for these credentials in Jenkins, and we are giving a different name with a variable. You can give it any name, and we are going to use this particular variable here to clone our repo with HTTPS. You see, this is the variable we are going to use, and we are going to clone this directly in this particular container, right? And we are going to do login, and the build number is by default Jenkins uses. So if I navigate back to this pipeline section, right? So I need to scroll it down. So if I do um, start from the console output, and these are the stuff what we are actually doing here. So um, these are all the commands we are logging to see a repo, and let me show you this part here. So put this guy here. So you see, log into CA repo, and this is the echo2 is the build number. The second build number, the first build is actually failed. We are doing the app update, and the app install happened by Git. So it has done exactly the same here. Installation of Git, and then if I scroll it down, what it has done, you see, it has cloned this particular private repository. And if I do ls, this is the directory Kaniko, and we then um, do cd into this directory, and you see all these particular commands are available here. And then we are going to build this particular image Docker file, and let me show you this part as well. So this particular file, which is actually available in our repo, and we are going to provide this build number. So if I navigate to this section, you see this is the Kaniko executor run, and this is the Docker file. It is actually available on our path, and destination is going to be this one, registry GitLab QuickBooks 2018 Kaniko. Build number is 2. We are using this tag, right? And it is going to retrieve this particular information which is mentioned in that particular repo. It has build and do push to that particular repository. So already done testing in past. So if I navigate back to this section, and um, if I navigate back to Kaniko, right? So these are the Docker files, right? So let me show you all the stuff in the next tab. So if I click this guy, this is a simple Docker file where I'm using the latest version of Nginx doing update, copy the index.html to this particular location. And this is our application. You see, simple application index.html. We're putting here, right? So then what I need to show you guys, okay, so okay. So click this setting button and navigate to this okay, packages. Okay, we do have settings. This is a setting button, right? So if I navigate to the Kaniko section, and if I navigate to click this build guy and deploy, and click this deploy guide and click on this container registry, what it has done, you see in my previous testing. So this is the Docker image. So these are the different tags uh, which has been um, done and pushed. So here what it does, it has actually pushing image to this I mean, Kaniko, and although we have done already testing, what it has done actually has done the overriding of that particular tag, which I've already done the testing. So if I navigate back to this section, click next. So it has actually done the override. So tag, search for the tag 2. So you see, this is a tag number 2. 4 minutes ago, it has actually overwritten that particular tag, right? So this is successfully done, guys, and you see the CI part with the Kaniko without using mounting of any Docker socket. How easily we can build our securely made with Kaniko. So it has the advantage that we can securely build our images, and we do not need to have Docker socket mounted available. So this is the um, first, you can say that pipeline I've shown you guys. So regarding the other setup, so okay, so this is our repo regarding the Helm Argo CD. So I'm going to show you the stuff from here as well, but let it let's see what we have in this particular section. So if I navigate back to this Kaniko section, right, and then we have other pipelines. So I shown you CI part. You can say that I'm going to let's say rename it, or Jenkins file is the base CI part. We have done the CI part. We are going to do CD part with the Argo CD, and but before that, I'm going to show you the CD part with the Helm chart as well. So this is going to be the last part regarding the Argo CD, but now I'm going to cover the second option by using the Helm chart, right? So if I click this guy, so here what I need to do, I'm going to show you that how with Helm chart we are going to um, deploy our CI/CD stuff in an automated way. So let's do that. So guys, what I've done, I've renamed these particular Jenkins files to make sure that you can have good understanding what we're doing here, right? So I'm inside my sandbox container. So simply, um, If I navigate back to the section in the Kaniko, you will see the updated files regarding the Jenkins. And now we are going to have this Jenkins file, the first CI which you have already tested, and this is the Jenkins file, Helm CD, and then Argo CD. We are going to test it later. So if I click this guy and try to copy the contents, or if I open this in raw and press uh, open this guy and let me close this section here. So we are going to try this file, right? And when I navigate back to this section, Kaniko. So let's try to configure and see the errors, what errors we get. And we are going to fix those errors because we need to add credentials to the repo. So guys, here we are doing the CD part. I already shown you the CA part, which is the build part, which is continuous integration. But what if we want to do the automated way of continuous deployment? So deploy with Helm, which means that if our CI part with all the build and test is done successfully, we want to automate this particular part. So I'm going to show you what we are actually doing here. So simply copy paste it here. And if I navigate back to this section, Jenkins file Helm CD. So in CD, what I've done, I've added one more container, right? Although it is the same Python Sling container, but different name. So this in this CD part, you see deploy with Helm. What we are going to do here, we are going to use particular credential repo cred ID, right? And I need to also update this guy as well because we are going to clone this particular repo, right? So I pasted the Argo CD repo here, or you can say the Helm repo. So I'm going to update this variable. Let me do that. So I'll be back with you guys shortly. So guys, what I've done, I've added this Helm repo creds ID, and this is the credential ID we need to create in Jenkins, and I'm going to rename it. It's totally up to you. I'm going to call this variable name this Helm repo private token, and this particular token I'm going to use it here to clone my private repository, which is the second repository where my Helm charts are living. So we need to clone this guy, and it is going to clone this through on HTTPS. So this is the HTTPS link we are actually using to securely use the Jenkins credential to clone this particular repo. So I need to commit. So if I do git status here, and I need to add this particular guy, right? So if I do git status, and I'm going to say git commit -m, and I'm going to call this as a updated, and simply do push here. So I need to simply copy this pipeline, and I'm going to navigate back to this section, um, click on configure, and simply copy this guy. Sorry, I mean paste it, save it. And what we need to do, we need to create this Helm repo creds ID. So let's run the pipeline and see what it spits regarding the error. So let's try to build it now. So if I navigate to back to this section, it is going to provision that particular pod. And that particular pod, it is going to spin up those containers, right? And our pipelines are going to be spin up in those particular temporary pods which have four containers. You see, these are the four containers. And if I click this guy, you can see different logs with regard to these setups. So anyway, these are the four container inside a single pod, right? So if I navigate back to this section, click this guy and see the output, definitely it is going to result in an error because we have not set up that particular the CI part is going to be successful because it is going to find that particular guy. So you see, this credential has not been available. So if I navigate back to this section and let's say add this particular token here, I'm going to call this secret text, and simply I'm going to put this ID here and let's say put the same description. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you a live way to show you how to simply create those tokens. So I'm not going to use the existing one. So simply navigate back to the section, click on the access token, right? And let me remove the other parts, and definitely I'm going to remove others as well. So I'm going to call this Jenkins. You can call this anyway. Let's call this Jenkins again. I'm going to remove the expiry. If you want, you can do that. I'm going to call this, I'm going to give a roles owner, and we are actually do the cloning here, and we need to have um, full access to this particular repository. So best practice is that you can go for the minimal, um, I mean, authority and minimal permissions you want to give to that particular role. So let's try to use this in case of any error. We can see what happens. So I'm going to use this guy, right? I've already copied this guy and I'm going to paste it here in this section. So, and then let's see what happened and try to navigate back to this section, build down, rerun this particular pipeline, and let's see what happens. So regarding the section, this pipeline, what we're doing here, we are going to deploy with Helm, and application is going to be Hello app, what we have actually pushed to our private registry, and this is going to be the build number, which is actually coming from the above area from the CI part, and the build number is going to be using the same tag, right? What it does, it is going to create a namespace hello. If I navigate back to this section, namespace, okay, scroll it down, namespace. Currently, we don't have a namespace hello. If it is successful, it is going to definitely, if it reach that particular guy, and we are using some of the flags. If it is not successful, it is going to simply remove it and clean all the stuff. And we are going to use this particular private registry, right? And I'm going to show you the Helm chart with regard to this as well. So if I navigate back to this section, you see it has error. We need to fix those error. What are those error? Let's see. So scroll it down, and okay, so cd into this guy. So you see user with this system service account Jenkins default um, is failing. So that is the part where I have shown you guys in the start of video. So what we need to do, we need to navigate back to this section, right? And Jenkins, this error is with regard to the Jenkins, that user system service count Jenkins. I mean, the service count I've already shown you. Jenkins is unable to, hook up with this default service count, which is actually created in the hello namespace. So if you see, okay, let me show you this part. The roles in Jenkins, and sorry, service account. So this is the Jenkins service account. So what we need to do, if I navigate back to this section, so scroll it down, what we are going to do, let's try to do a simple a role binding of Jenkins, and we are going to use this cluster role, admin role, and I'm going to copy this guy. This is the service account we are going to bind this particular role with in the namespace hello. So currently we don't have this namespace. Let's try to simply we have the CLI, and let's try to run this preview command, and let's see what error we have got. So you see, because hello namespace is not there. So what we need to do from here, we are going to create this particular namespace hello. It has now created, and I run this preview command again. So you see this role binding has created. So if I navigate back to this section in the namespaces, okay, click this guy. This is the namespace, and click this guy. And from here, if you see service count from this hello, you see this is the default um, service account. What we are actually have done, you see, we have done the binding, right? So cluster role binding with this service account. So let's try to rerun this particular pipeline, and hopefully, if we don't have any issues, we are going to do the stuff, and let's see what other errors we are going to face. So these errors are I am showing you intentionally to see how we can fix those and what are the issues and how we can do the debugging stuff as well. So, and it gives you more clarity regarding the what is going on with our, secure private registries and pipelines. So, so let it run. So this is the, you see, build number 5. It is going to actually override that particular image and do the simple building of tiny application, and it is going to push that to our private registry. And you see this is pushing to this guy, and now we are doing the stuff with regard to the CD part, and let's see what happened. So we have done the part regarding the role binding, and let's see in case of any other error. You see it has cloned this particular repo, and we are into CD, into Helm Argo CD. So it is now installing that release. If I navigate back to this section, you see hello. Um, Click this guy, Helm releases. You see it has been 20 seconds. That is, it is actually installing. If I navigate to this port section, you see it might have error, and this is the error image pulled back off, which means we need to set up the credential with regard to that private um, GitLab registry. What I mean by that. So let me show you that guy. It is going to be in this state, and if it is failed release, and it is not going to be successful. So what we need to do, so you see GitLab whole image secrets token, although I've already created for you guys, but I'm going to remove or let it put it here and give you understanding how we can do that. So what we are going to do, we are going to simply update this particular command. And regarding that particular token, what we are going to do, we are going to do live creation of access token. So this time, you see, previously I've created this Jenkins repo poll access, and now I'm going to create um, one more token. So simply click this access token again. So let's say token name is going to be, I'm going to call this Helm. So, or let's say hello app, right? Call this hello. This is for the hello application. I'm going to remove this token. I'm going to call this owner, right? So we need to provide the full access. So as I discussed, the better is to give the granular minimal permission. We are going to provide only the read registry, which means it is going to pull that particular image. So, but the point is that this is not the repository like where our image is living. Image is living here in this particular repo. So I'm going to simply not going to create it, right? So this is very important to let you know that where we need to create this particular token, right? So when I get back to this section, right? Access token, and this is where we need to create those particular tokens. So okay, so register token I've already created. So let me do that again for you guys. So let's create a fresh token with the name hello. I'm going to remove the expiration. I'm going to give this owner, and we are going to only provide this permission read registry. You can definitely set up the expiration date, but definitely it's going to be an issue in, I mean, your pipeline is going to be failed once this token is expired. So This is the token, guys. I'm going to simply copy this guy, right? And what I need to do, and let me show you this file. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to navigate back to this section. I need to create the secrets, right? So we are actually here in this area, GitLab register full secrets. So if I navigate back to this section, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to simply update this token, right? So let's do that. And currently we don't have any secrets. So I'm going to call this GitLab image full access secret. So if I navigate back to the section hello in the navigate to config secret, config secrets, you will see no secrets here. So what we are going to do, we are going to create it, and let's try to simply do this. Copy this guy and paste this in particular shell. So you see, currently we don't have anything here. So let's try to create this particular secret. You see, it has been created about 3 seconds ago. So this is the secret it is actually looking for, and in order to pull this particular image. And let's try to rerun the pipeline. You see, it has a failure, and because of the access denied. So, and if I navigate back to the section pod, you see everything has been removed because of those flags. So let's try to see if any other error we are facing with regard to the pipeline, and we have provided those credentials in order to pull that particular private repo image. So let's see. So it is going to do the same stuff. It is going to do the build, and it is going to create a new image. The build number is I think 6 now. It is going to build the image. It is going to post it, and then it is going to do automated deployment with Helm charts. Right, it is going to clone this guy, right? Cloning this guy CD into this part, and it's going to uh, retrieve that particular image. So then do the installation. So let's try to see what happened here now. So now those credentials are available with tokens. So again, it is going to try the same command, and let's try to see what we have got now. So you see, pod is spin up, and now it's turned into green state. You see. And if I navigate back to the section Helm releases, so you see it has been deployed. So previous we have set up those flags, so that's why that particular release is no more available. So let's try to access this guy. Simply click this. Click this guy. Do the port forwarding regarding the application of our application. Let's say 8080. Let's say what we have got. Uh, So it is going to open this port. So this is our application, what we have set up, create index.html with blue text. So this is our simple app, right? So navigate back to the section networking port mapping, and I don't want this port anymore. So simply remove this, right? So you can do the same stuff from the CLI, but in order to do it quickly, I'm showing you guys this in Lens. So this is how we have done through the Helm chart. Now in the last part, what we are going to do, we are going to do through the Argo CD, but definitely for that we need to have Argo CD set up. Previously, I've created videos with regard to the Argo CD setup where I've used SSH keys, but now is here I'm going to show you a little different approach where I'm going to use the HTTPS way, like in order to pull the repos, and even in the Argo CD, I'm going to show you the HTTPS way. So we need to set up the Argo CD, right? So what we are going to do, we need to add that particular Argo CD Helm chart. So let's try to simply copy this particular command and navigate back to this section where we have our current cluster spin up. And now we are going to do Helm repo update, and I'm going to show you the Helm repo LS. So we are going to do the list of repositories what we have in past. So we have two repos, Argo CD and Jenkins CI. And then I'm going to search for this particular repo, and So these are the chart version, the app version, and we are going to we are actually interested in Argo CD here. So this one, right? So and what we are going to do, we are going to simply make a directory. Parent is going to be the Argo CD, and the child is going to be the values. We're going to put the values here, and then I'm going to simply put those values, show values in this particular directories. So if you want to do customization, you can update those values, but definitely we are going to quickly do the installation by simply copy this particular command here, and I'm going to quickly set up this particular Argo CD here, right? So what it does, it is going to create a namespace Argo CD. Currently, if I navigate back to the namespace section, okay, okay, namespace, this one. So you see this namespace has been created about 12 seconds ago, and let's navigate to the pod section, click the Argo CD namespace, navigate to this releases section, Helm. So it is going to provision that particular deployment. And if I navigate back to this section pods, so it is going to set up this Argo CD stack for us. So once everything turns into green, then what we are going to do, we are going to port forward to our Argo CD service. So navigate to this section services. This is the Argo CD server. It is going to be on HTTPS. So I'm going to say click this guy 80, let's say 95. It is going to open this particular HTTPS port on our browser. Let me bring this guy here, right? So let's open this Argo CD, and we are going to simply check the credential with regard to this guy. So go proceed, and it is going to ask for the initial admin password. So what we are going to do, click this section and navigate to the config secrets and initial admin password. Click this guy, click this section, press Control C, and I'm going to say username is going to be admin, and these are the initial admin passwords. So press enter. We need to bring this repo, this particular repo into, I mean, not this one. This one we are setting it up. So we need to bring this guy here. So we are going to use HTTPS this time. So in order to do that, as I told you, I've already set up, shown in previous video how we can do through SSH. So now we need to navigate to this section, right click repositories. You can use connect repo using SSH. I've covered that. Now this time, this repo project is going to be default, and I'm going to simply paste this guy. Username is going to be definitely the token. I mean, we have created. Navigate back to this token side. So you see, we have created a read repository token, but like I mean, created few minutes ago, but we need to have a read and write repository token as well, because we are going to automatically do the CD part, right? So I'm going to show you the script as well, what we are going to do here. So let's quickly create a token here, and let's try to call this, let's say, call this hello app token, right? And no aspiration owner. And I don't need registry, like, here, I mean, definitely I need a read registry, we have already added that particular token in our Helm chart regarding the read registry. So I need here token with regard to the write repository, because we are going to do git commits automatically through our script. And okay, read and write access to push and pull this particular repository. So let's try to create and see, in case any error, we are going to update this particular guy. So okay, so this is the token, guys, and regarding the username and password. So let me copy this guy, right? And okay, so I'm going to give this username hello, and Mm, okay, that is fine. Although this needs only read access. So anyway, I've created it, so that would be fine. So let's try to click connect and see. You see, this is successful now. If I navigate back to the section, later in my videos, I will cover the creation of ROCD with apps pattern with YAML official Argo CD, right? But now we are going to set up from the UI. We are going to create one application. Let's say a same application, and the project is going to be default. Select this automatic, and I'm going to select this prune self. How to create namespace if it is not there, and I'm going to select this repo Helm Argo CD, which we have actually added, and path is going to be hello. And that particular hello is actually, if I navigate back to this section, okay, click this guy, and we have a directory here, hello, which is where we have our Helm chart, right? So if you click this, this is our Helm chart, right? So we are doing this, and cluster is going to be this namespace. Let's say this is the namespace hello, right? So in values file, simply click this. It is going to be automatically populated because we have that particular access, that particular repository. So these are the secrets which I've already shown you, but guys, sorry. And I'm going to create this stuff. So click this guy. So what it has done, you see, check this deployment hello, and if I navigate back to this section, hello application pod. So you see, it is redeployed that particular pod again about 18 seconds ago. So we have successfully, added. But now, the part regarding the automation, we are going to do commit in our application repository, which is this one, Kaniko, right? So, and that creates a particular specific image we want to automatically deploy the GitOps approach. So here, what I've done, I've created Tiny script to show you that, and this is the image tag.shell. So what it is going to do, so it is going to actually override that values.yaml files. So it is the basic values.yaml file. So this is the $1, which is the value in the first position parameter. If you know bash, so it is going to expect that particular value along with that particular script. So if I navigate back to this section, where we have added this Jenkins Argo CD. So this is the area, guys. So this is the batch UVX we are going to use in debug mode, and exit in case of any error, right? So we are going to this use this particular script, and this is the build number. So it is going to override that particular values.yaml file in that particular directory, right? So because Argo CD is a GitOps approach, if it see the changes in this in that particular directory, it's going to automatically update the newer versions, and we are going to simply clone this guy. So let's try to click this guy. I think I've not added this URL, but let me show you first the error part what we might face. So open this guy in raw and simply copy this guy, paste it, close it, navigate back to this section, and now we are on the last part regarding the Argo CD automated deployment with Kaniko, right? And let's try to apply save, and it is going to complain regarding the credential which is actually missing. So if I navigate back to this repository, so now we're here we are, right? So we need to create this. We need to create this guy regarding the repo pull push credits ID, right? So let's do that. In Helm, what we have done, we have created this guy. So I'm intentionally creating, these credentials to make sure you have idea regarding that. So let the pipeline run, and if I navigate back to this section, um, create credential, right? So um, click this guy secret text, Um, secret ID should be this one, right? Because it is going to expect this guy. Secret is gonna be I guess this one, which we have set up, right? So I've not removed that. So um, right, possible. Okay, so add this guy here, simply paste it, create it. So let it. Now this is actually available. So navigate back to this section and see, you see it has been failed. And let's see what error we have got this time. So scroll it down till bottom and you see this is now missing. Click this guy. Let's try to rebuild it because we have created, and let's see if in case any other error, let's see what's happened. So we have our Argo CD as well, and let me push this guy here. So let me open this, click this guy, see the console output, and scroll it down. So what it does, it is going to simply clone that particular repository, and it is going to simply run that particular script. It is going to override that particular file, and the image tag is going to be this one, 8, right? So currently it is in the building and pushing stage. And then in the next stage, what it does, it is going to clone. You see, it is now pushed, and we want this particular guy to be deployed with the image tag, right? So image tag is going to be 8, or it should be 8. So, and we want to do it in automated way. So what happened here, you see, we have added the commands to clone that particular repo, and now it has find the credential. So what had we have added the values.yml, it has commit image tag updated to this guy. And if I navigate back to this section, so by default, you see it is created. I mean, it will take some time, but usually 5 minutes by default. Let's try to refresh it and see what's happened if it found any new commits in that particular repo. So, so we have clicked the refreshing state, and also see what we have got. So let me first of all see either we have our port available or not. So try to refresh it. So it is loading again. So also we need to actually check our repository. Um, okay, Helm Argo CD. Let's open here and check this repository and navigate back to this repository, right? So okay, we need to check this guy. So you see 1 minute ago it has been updated, and you will see the commit with regard to that. So it has been updated, and you see this is the tag, and um, uh, we need to, okay, so what we need to do, navigate to this section. Okay, network is offline. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to navigate to this section, network, right? Port forwarding, and do stop. Start it. Might be there is a conflict regarding the network, and let's try to refresh it. Let's try to refresh it. It's gonna ask for the credential again or not. Okay, so let's try to click on refresh. So you see it has syncing, and this is the tag application image tag updated to, you see it has redeployed that particular pod. And if I scroll it down here, you see the deployment has been done successfully. So guys, if I navigate back to this section, pod, Helm, okay, Helm, I mean, Argo CD, click this guy, you see it has been deployed. So check the tag, image tag, what we have. I mean, this is the description you see. This is the tag we're expecting. So this is how you can use the Kaniko, Argo CD, Helm, GitLab private registries and repositories. If you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe the channel. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.